put my 2 cents in?
No, honey, I don't mind. Call the police immediately.
I don't get it.
No idea what you're talking about. Yes? Hello? Hi, stranger.
I want ham and eggs and flapjacks with lots of butter and syrup and coffee. I'll take the coffee now.
Why have you come here tonight? Rain.
Where's my dough?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Vibes and Stuff Live in the Morning. It's your host, Chuck Allen, with your host, Uncle Freezie, coming to you live on a Monday, making Monday, August 22nd. Robert,
Hello.
how y'all doing this morning? How you doing this
Man, I'm super good. I'm super good, man. How you doing? I'm super
morning?
good.
Great, man. I'm ready to get this show started, man. It's another great week of vibes and stuff. And the Front Stoop collaboration, to all of the Front Stoop people that are watching right now, salute to you.
Yeah.
You are a vibrant one. Make sure you subscribe over here at Vibes and Stuff, along with Front Stoop, man. So
Yeah, man.
Salute to everybody in the building. King Poppy, NYK, Savage NYC, Delano Steele Jr., the real DSJ. Salute, sir. How was your weekend?
Hey, man, it was good. My weekend was good, man. Yeah, man, my weekend was good. I was tempted by fate like 1,000 times, bro. Man, I've been tempted, man, by spending money that I shouldn't have been spending, eating foods that I shouldn't be eating. I mean, tempted by it, not actually done any of this stuff. But I was tempted by, you know what I'm saying? A bunch of stuff, man. But, things are what they are, man. Happy to be alive, man. It's Monday, August 22nd, the second week of this Front Stoop of Vibes and Stuff collabo. Excited about that. Man, we here rocking. Yeah, man.
Yes,
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You ready? Hey, let's start the day off, man, with the usual. Let's do Hood Goddess and these Hood horoscopes, and then that way we can get into the topic of the day. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Shorty, let me holler at you. Girl, it's the way you walk, command attention. It's all about your vibe, your true intention. I call you Hood Goddess. You're misunderstood, 'cause you're from the hood. From first eye contact, I knew I had to have that. Had a feeling you were something special. Didn't know if I could match that. You draw a crowd just to say hi. You make it happen, you stay fly. You big and everyone know. If I was a stock, you would raise mine. Even with a t-shirt and sweats on. Girl, you work it for me. Don't matter what they say about you. Baby, you're perfect. Girl, to me. It's the way you walk, command attention. It's all about your vibe, your true intention. I call you Hood Goddess. You're misunderstood, 'cause you're from the hood. That like the minute Dominican girl. East African queen, call you my cinnamon girl. Sweet like grandma cobbler. You were a #1 prospect. Even if you're raised in the projects, and you got the whole game on lock. Cops and robbers, they'll build an altar, you're so bomb. You shoot them down so calm. You don't be playing no games, but sexy in jerseys you throw on. I'm your soldier, I will march in line. You know it's your world. Let me hit you with that more in line. You go, girl, it's the way you walk. Command attention. It's all about your vibe, your true intention. I call you the goddess. You're misunderstood, 'cause you're from the hood.
They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Well, I would love to be the one that holds you, console you in times of grief, and listen when you're trying to speak. Your smile, it brightens up the darkest moods, and looking in your eyes is like gazing at the stars and moon. Just thinking about you, damn, I can hardly move. The depths of my feelings are hard to convey, like trying to catch fish at the edge of a bay, like I'm caught in an infinite wave, 'cause even when you do the simplest things,
Man, that joint is fire, bro. That joint still get me fired up. But here go your hood horoscopes. Here go your hood horoscopes for Monday, August 22nd. Yeah. Yo, that is crazy, man. Chuck, let's get into this health and lifestyle. Let's get into this topic, man. This health and lifestyle. Let's go. Yo, the joint that was trending today, it was a few joints. I got them. I couldn't do them all. We couldn't do them all in one show. but we can do them. We can break them down, right? Basically, it's drama. It's drama. Like the things that y'all be want to talk about is one being broke. Y'all want to talk about baby mamas and baby mamas, right? Y'all want to talk about cancel culture. But the thing that you guys like talking about most is that N-word. Oh, N-word, everything. Chuck, you ever heard that N-word before?
Yeah, I've heard it. I've heard it quite a few times. I've used it myself.
Shit.
Yo,
Here we go again.
I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. I hear the word so much. I hear it and have heard it so much. I thought it was a pronoun. You know how you say, Mrs. Smith? Yeah, hey boy, take this pie down to Miss Smith's house. You know she loves an apple pie. And, you know what I'm saying? You take the apple pie down to Miss Smith's house. Hey, Miss Smith, Mama told me to bring this apple pie down here. You know what I'm saying? But I heard the N-word as a pronoun like that. That N-word Chucky. That big red N-word. I personally, I don't say that word. Right? I'm offended by that word, right? But I hear it so much. That is part of the culture. Right? I hear the word. I don't say that word like that. Now I don't listen. And I don't even begrudge people from saying it in personal settings. Just don't say that shit around me at work. Don't get that comfortable where you can feel like you can say that in workspaces. Right? Soul finger in the building. Like for instance, I'll give you an example. Of a pronoun, right? So hey man, Soul Finger is my brother, right? Soul Finger my brother, and I love him, right? And I wouldn't dare disrespect him. But in a way, you can use that word. You be like that N-word Soul Finger, and when you hear it, you don't know if you cussing them out or if that's your man 50 grand. That's my N-word.
But that's the thing though. That word could never be a term of endearment.
Oh, yes, it can.
But it can. All right then. How come no other racial epithet is used as a term of endearment for that ethnic group or others? Don't nobody walk around saying, "What's up, my faggot? What's up, my kite? What's up, my spick?" No one says these things. It's just when it comes to the N-word, when it comes to nigga, oh, everybody can say that with impunity. It is socially acceptable, and to me the deception is getting black people to say it and accept it, right? So now anyone who gets checked for saying it, oh well, they say it in hip hop all the time. Oh, black people say it all the time. Well, black people can say it. Why can't I say it? Trust me, say any of those other things that I just said. Walk up to a gay guy and be like, "Yo, what's up, my faggot?" See what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, man. I always felt like certain words are taken out of context. Like I feel like I'm in a trap. I feel like I'm in some web of in a nebulous, sticky place that I can't ever return. When I hear like slurs, right? Because if I say the slur, even in a contextual, in a controlled environment like this, you know what I'm saying, to educate people, I feel like somebody will see this and be like, "No, but you said it," just like what you were saying just now. Right. So I kind of be careful that F word that you just mentioned. I never thought that. I never thought that to be a thing about somebody being gay as opposed to somebody being soft as hell. And a lot of times the person that was gay or whatever was soft as hell when they were called that. And a lot of times dudes that wasn't gay was called that because they were soft as hell. You know what I'm saying? That N-word though. Yo, King Poppy, I checked out the joint, bro. You got the I can't play your joint straight off of YouTube, bro. You gotta send me the joint so that I can play it. And then I shouted you out numerous times. I don't know if you saw it. That's the King Poppy NYK. I shouted you out on Twitter and on YouTube, man. After I played it, I put the link in one of the joints. But anyway. Mr. Vince says, I have constantly checked my 44-year-old nephew on the use of N-words. It's generational. That acceptable for some, while my generation is the grand insult. Yes. Yeah, the word, man, the word is polarizing, bro. The word is polarizing. I have a dude, man, listen, I ain't gonna call him out. But I had 4 or 5 phone calls on Friday.
Right.
And everybody that I talked to on the phone was like, N-word. You know what I'm saying, man? These N-words, you know what I'm saying? N-words. And I'm like, yo, this chick said the word N-word instead of the word him. I'm like, you couldn't just say him? She's like, no. This N-word. You couldn't just say him? No.
Right.
So you ever had that before happen to you? This N-word, that N-word. You couldn't even call him man? Yo, it's crazy. It's crazy.
What's crazy is maybe like 3 years ago, I had to see a specialist over at Elmhurst Hospital in Queens. And if anybody knows anything about Elmhurst, well, back in the day, Elmhurst used to have a McDonald's in the basement of the hospital. So we were leaving the appointment, and we were going to catch the elevator to go downstairs to the McDonald's. And so there's like this little, I want to say cubby. That might not be the right word, but it's like a little cutout. Right. And I was leaning up against the wall in the cutout, waiting for the elevator. And all you could hear was, yo, I told that N-word, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm looking at that N-word, and he was like, N-word, 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 right? And I'm like, golly, every other word is N-word. And so I step out of the little cove area, right? Just to see like who talking this aggressive, this loud over here like this. To my extreme surprise, both of these gentlemen were Asian.
Yep.
They were Asian.
Yep.
Korean to be specific.
And they was talking like they was probably talking like they black. They probably wasn't even derogatory. They wasn't like, I'm gonna kill some N-words on sight. They was talking like the homies.
Right. And that was, again, that's the thing that bothers me, is that word that has been used to demean and degrade our grandmothers and grandfathers and aunties and uncles, depending on how old you are, used so casually amongst people that aren't our ethnicity. Like, I still have a problem with that word.
Today is different, though. Today is different, bro.
But
that's how people talk today.
Uncle Freezie, but that doesn't take away from the fact that a racial epithet degrading black people is now socially acceptable by everyone else, but no other racial slur or epithet is used in that manner. As soon as you use it, like the reporter that said, "Oh, finally, Jeremy Lin reveals a chink in his armor," he got fired immediately, as he should have been. But
Yeah,
me
but
and you
the
can't
whole
sit
thing
there and
is,
have this conversation like those guys were having. Like, yo, what's up, my
he got fired
chigga?
for saying, yeah, he got fired for saying chink.
Yes,
That's cancel culture, bro. People taking stuff over the top. People being unrealistic, sensitive, soft ass people. Soft ass stuff. You can't say a chink in the armor when you do have a messed up place in your armor. Is called a chink. It's not
right.
called it's not called who's gonna say, yeah, Jeremy Lin finally shows a messed up place in his armor. Anybody gonna say that? The term is chink in your armor. They fired him, they stupid. If I was him, I'll sue the brakes off them. But the word is in the dictionary and people been using it for years for that exact same thing. So I'm certain he is getting broken off. So somebody birthday in here? Late
Mr. Vince.
happy run. Mr. Vince. What's good?
Happy birthday, Mr. Vince. Or belated birthday.
Yeah, man, happy birthday. Happy belated birthday. Happy 59th. Happy 59th birthday to Mr. Vince. I just made up a number. It was arbitrary. It was totally arbitrary, Mr. Vince. Happy birthday. But listen, but I heard people, the way our language has been taken so far. I heard Snoop Dogg say Snoop Dogg got a song. Or is it Dr. Dre? Dr. Dre had a song, and on the joint, he was like, "Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks." Right? And they sing it. Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. And I'm like, God, hey, man. Hey, Cat Steak. I ain't going to say too far because that's how a lot of us talk. But Chuck, that N-word, bro, that's how we talk nowadays. When somebody see you, somebody see you walking the dog, and they be in a hurry, they're gonna be like, get the way N-word. And they're gonna keep on walking. They don't mean nothing by it. That means get out the way, mister.
But that
You know what I'm saying?
don't make it right. That don't make it right. In trying to change the context of something that polarizing, just to say, oh well, it's a part of the lexicon. This is just how we get down now. Well, do it for all of it. Do it for all of it. Don't tell me. Don't have NBA players having these little public service announcements. If you say that's gay in order to say something is bad, then that's wrong. You don't remember when Joakim Noah and all of them did that?
I remember that.
And I was like, wait a minute. So we can't. Okay. N-word don't mean what it used to, according to other people, except when they get mad at you, right? But you can't say, man, you going to the opera? Man, I ain't going, man. That's gay.
Yeah.
That's insensitive.
That's how we talk nowadays, though. That's part of the game. If you thought, man, I get on Twitter, bro. I get on Twitter, and you see some of these names. You know a lot of these people don't have any African or anything in them. But does that word? Okay, let me say it. Does the word nigga belong to black people? Because I have a lot. Listen, man. If black people worldwide are focusing all their resources on being the N-word monitor, I think they're wasting their time. There are a lot of other problems that black people around the world face, aside from wasting energy on being the N-word monitor. Now, am I saying the N-word is right? Nah, I don't say it. You see, I try not to say it. I don't say it. Do I hear it? Yes. I'm black and I exist in a black culture around black people. Should I be like, every time I hear the N-word, don't say that, don't say that, don't say that? Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not perfect. Right? And I hear it like I don't want to hear the N-word at church. I mean, don't you coming out the church house, you be like, man, that N-word coming over here. No, he owe me $20. Man, didn't you just come out to church? Oh, don't be saying that stuff around me at work. You know what I'm saying? Sir, there's a certain place and stuff for even any kind of stuff like that. That's me though, right? But what I'm getting at is it's part of the game, Chuck. And listen, man, people gonna use their freedom of speech to say what they want to say.
Okay.
Right. And these younger people, they use it. They don't even know. They don't even notice that they're using it like a pronoun. You know what I'm saying? Like I watched the Bobby Shmurda video again, bro. And this dude was using the slur like a noun.
Yes. Yes, he was.
And you and I did a video on we did a live stream on home ownership and how it's important to you know what I'm saying, take advantage of the opportunities that are given to us, right? And I think that video that live stream maybe got like 100 views. Bobby Shmurda did a song called Hot N-Word, and it's almost got 1 billion views.
Yeah. YG, and what you call it, got a song called My N-Word, that probably got almost a billion views. Again, I'm never listen to all the people that are listening out there. I'm never going to say it's okay. I'm never going to be, it's just the way we talk, because it's not. It's not. And I just feel like any other group of people put a stop to you using derogatory words that were used against them. That's my only gripe. And for black folks, we never took that hard stand. Like Jewish people, you can't say nothing about Jews. I'm gonna be very careful of saying that now. Might take down the street.
You can't say nothing about Jewish people because of all the stuff that they went through. And quite honestly,
but what about all the stuff that we went through?
No, I'm just speaking to them first. I understand what trust me.
Yeah.
I'm saying far as because black people going through stuff doesn't mean that other people can't go through stuff. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm getting at. They've been through a lot of stuff, bro, and I understand where they're coming from. So they on the right wave of like, yo, nah, you ain't gonna disrespect us at all. We've been through too much stuff, but black people ain't gonna do that. Black people ain't gonna do that, bro.
That's unfortunate.
We're gonna be all N-word everything. Like instead of I got an example. This is like this is funny when I think about it, right? So like those communities that don't want to be disrespected, what they do is lawyer up. They do stuff like record labels and stuff. A lot of them is owned by Jewish lawyers. You know what I'm saying? Looking to make money and bring in their community, right? Right. They're at one end of the spectrum. Guess who's at the other end of that spectrum? Black people. Take their money and buy a necklace with it, put it around their neck. Mr. Vince says, why don't we say, what's up, my brother, instead of my N-word? I feel you, Mr. Vince. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you on that. Why not say my brother? But my thing is with that, Mr. Vince, are we really brothers? Or are we just the same skin tone? Are we really brothers? Or are we the same skin tone? Are we just or we just rich in melanin?
All three.
Because you know.
All three. Because I feel like, okay, all right, I'm about to go somewhere. Just give me a second to work through this thought. Um, okay, so if we call ourselves N words, and this has become a part uh of our daily routine. This is something. This is how we express ourselves towards one another. You my N word, I'm your N word. We all N words. Um, then you listen, right? So it's I'm an N word. That's what it is, right? Because I'm black, I'm brown, I'm darker, I'm an N word. And then you listen to the music, particularly rap music. Every other song is I'll kill an N word, I'll shoot an N word, I run up with the stick on an N word, and you have that playing 24/7 in your car, in your iPod, at the house. And as soon as you get into an argument with someone that looks like you, without hesitation, you kill them, you shoot them, you stab them, you hurt them. But anyone else, you have pause. You think about it. And sometimes you don't do anything. Right? Oh man, I had to kill that N word because he disrespected me. White guy did the same thing. And then your response for not doing anything, man, you know, I did something to that cracker, man. I would have got 100 years. But the N-word life wasn't worth anything. And I feel like all of those things go hand in hand, man. Like if you can trick the people to believing there's something and then get everyone else to believe that they're their thing too, there's no question that's what you are. Because you said that's what you are, and everyone else is saying that's what you are, and they've never been checked on saying that. That's my only gripe, man. Like if everybody has been used to if everybody has been calling you vagina, oh look at that vagina over there, that vagina, and you never say anything, you never check them on saying that, right? You can't get mad that everybody start treating you that way because you never checked them, you never stopped them. Like, yo, I ain't no vagina, don't talk to me like that. You talk to me like that again, I'm gonna put these upside your head. I just don't. I don't understand how we've allowed it to get that way, and that's black people. I don't know how we let it get this way.
I don't know, Chuck. You sound like an old man, bro.
Okay, I
You
am.
sound like the old man, man. Bro, this is how. I'm not saying me per se. I don't speak this way, but I'm a part of a culture that speaks this way, and it's not new.
It isn't.
Our representatives speak this way. Our representatives, all the stuff that we tried to do, the images we tried to project, like the Sidney Poitiers, the Billy D. Williams, you know what I'm saying, the Jackie Wilsons, all of those images that we try to portray, you know what I'm saying? Sharp dude in a suit, you know what I'm saying, trying to do his thing. That's out the window because Snoop Dogg is on stage saying the N-word with a blunt in his mouth, representing our people. Snoop Dogg is what all black people are. I'm sorry.
No.
We even had the first ever black president of the United States, and people and he fading from memory as we speak. But Snoop and Young Thugger represents our race, our people. It's just what it is, bro. And they say the N word every other word.
But again, those guys, and that's another thing. Every celebrities don't represent.
Yeah, they do.
You know what I mean? Like they don't represent me because I know that they're entertainers and they do what they do for money. So when you do certain things like that to entertain for money, I can appreciate your thoughts, but you don't represent me. I love Snoop Dogg as an overall entertainer, but Snoop Dogg does not represent me because
he represent us.
No,
he represent us. Yeah. Because think about it. See, because to you, Chuck, I see you as an individual. I see you as an individual.
Right.
Right. But for those that
Right.
see us as collectives, Snoop Dogg represent us, bro. Lil Wayne is the black people representative, bro.
So is Marilyn Manson and people like that represent white people?
No, because
Exactly.
because we because we get to know other races. Like we get to know we personally get to know white people, but minorities
Right.
are all clumped together. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you ain't never been nowhere and an Asian person was upset with something and people would be like, yo, man, yo, Jackie Chan, calm down, Jackie Chan. You know what I'm saying? And you like, yo, come on, man. You gonna call this dude Jackie Chan? That's stupid. That's
Right.
stupid for you to even say. And then if the dude that was Jackie Chan gets mad and call you the N-word, you mad even after y'all fight. You know what I'm saying? Even after y'all fight, you be like, I don't know who he think he was playing with, man. I ain't that in to mess with. So you saying that after he said it.
True.
It's what it is.
Man. That's the deception. I wish it were different. Here's when I got a realization, because what you said was absolutely 100% correct about it being a generational thing. When I moved to the Carolinas, I'm an N-word thrower. I throw that N-word around, boy. And we were in English class. It was like the first period of the day. We were in English class. And I want to say it was the end of the year because Miss Woodruff didn't let us clown around. And today she was letting us like clown around. Like I was in my bag and she was letting me go there. She was laughing and stuff. And then I messed around and dropped that N-word. And I watched that smile turn upside down. And she said, "Don't say that." And I was
Don't say that word.
I was like, what? Don't say what? Don't say that N-word.
Right.
And I said, well, what's wrong? Like, N-word don't bother me. And I knew I said something wrong because this lady immediately began to tear up. And that lady ain't never, she's fussed at me because I'm a class clown. But you could tell she was hurt by that, by the way she was pointing and the way and then she told me to get out of my damn classroom. I've never heard that lady curse before.
And she meant that too.
She meant that. He cannot come back in here. I remember her telling, the assistant principal, Mr. Frank, he can't come back in here. It's ignorant, just saying all kinds of stuff. And she was just like, listen, she explained how that word was used against her when they were trying to go to school, when schools were being integrated. I don't know nothing about that. Only what I read in history books or maybe some documentary that we watched, about Little Rock, Arkansas, and the kids, integrating there. But she was a part of it. She was a part of those groups of black kids integrating into an all-white school, and how adults would be spitting at them and call them N-words and go back to Africa, you jungle bunnies, you jigaboos. And we weren't that far removed from that.
No.
And we weren't that far removed from that. So we talking
man, you ain't
1990 something. This
Right.
was 30 years ago for that lady. You know what I mean? Like she, 40 something or maybe 50 something. And like she had to experience that.
Shout out to the 50
So
somethings.
for her, right. So she that word will never be a term of endearment, would never be a word that becomes a part of her vocabulary because of what it meant, what it means to her, and how it was used to her. I went back after that. Mr. Fred was like, "You got to go apologize," and I was like, "Mr. Fred, I already want to apologize. Like, I want to go back in because she ain't never been like, and I can cut up, and she ain't never been this angry at me. She done told me to shut up. She done called me a fool." But it was always with a laugh or her shaking her head. But today
Right.
she was like, "Get out of my damn classroom,
you motherfucker!" And yeah, she probably wanted to cut. She probably wanted to cuss you out, but you was a little kid.
Yeah. Because she's really old. She's really old school. Like her husband drops her off and picks her up every day. Like comes in and gets her stuff, takes like, and yeah, man. And I felt bad because now I gotta look at this man, and I've offended his wife. For those that don't know, down south, they're very big on respect. Respecting elders.
Very big on respect. And
They're
it's
very
not just
big
a
on
black. It's not just a black people thing either.
Nope.
It's an everybody thing.
Across the board.
Yeah, because even the Spanish folks down here, the Spanish folks where I'm at, they kind of new to the neighborhood. They've probably been here about 15 years, right? Even
Right.
them, even they babies are like, "Yes, sir. No, ma'am. Sorry, sir. Sorry, ma'am." You know what I'm saying? They respectful down here. That's what I'm saying. That's why, and I'm not bashing metropolitan areas, but listen, that's why I'm like, yo, why? Why would I pay $1,700 a month in parking and for an apartment $2,200 a month? A pack of cigarettes costs $11 or whatever they cost. Living right on top of each other, everybody rules, right? Just to say that, but I could walk to the corner and get a soda that costs $1.19. Really? The difference between you walk into Poppy Bodega on the corner and me getting in my car and drive ain't really no difference, really. I mean, I don't see the difference, but anyway, I think factors like that contribute. I think things like that contribute to why we use the word that we do. A lot of these words we use the N word out of frustration. Right? We use the word out of frustration.
Right.
That's my N word right there, man. I love that's my N word. That's my N-word right there. You know, nobody better never lay a harm or an N-word hand or I'm spraying the block. Okay. I understand. I understand where you're coming from. But for one, we know you ain't spraying the block. I know you just talking. Right? I know you just talking because, you know. But why, like Mr. Vince said, why not use the word brother? Like, and see with me, and see, okay, so here's my thing with it. Right? So in Jersey City, where I grew up at, I grew up on the hill where it was, everybody was poor where I was at.
Right.
They might have had a good job or something, but it was a good job compared to everybody else being poor. You know what I'm saying? They ain't had no good job. Like they wasn't working for Ed Koch. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. Right? Over there, even people then was not saying the N-word. Even when we heard that N-word, somebody would say it like, that, don't pay him no attention, he's stupid. And they would say it to his face, like he's stupid. He dropped out of school. He don't know nothing. All he knows is street life.
Right.
And I'm not saying that to be offensive to people that dropped out of school and all they know is street life. But that's how people would kind of check you back then. Like, yo,
right,
you can't be schooling nobody on the way things go. We are hell bent on upward mobility, and we can't get there because people are dragging us backwards with stupid rhetoric. So it's like, but Chuck, but here's the thing, that was the 70s. It's 2022. People change and times change, sensibilities change. So now, so from what I gather, people take that N-word, knowing that they can't erase it, so they turn it into a term of endearment. That's my N-word right there.
Okay. Well, let me say that. Well, okay, why is it that when it comes to black people, we always got to take something negative and flip it around? Let it just be negative. We don't need lemonade all the time. Sometimes just let them lemons be lemons. You know what I mean? Because we have a habit of taking these negative things and, oh no, we're going to flip it and we're going to make it ours and we're going to change the meaning of it. And that's crazy because they haven't changed the meaning or the context that you use any other racial epithet, any racial slur, any other racial slur. They have not progressed in that way where it becomes a term of endearment and is just used just so loosely. No other one. That's why I'm like, okay, yeah, times have changed, but all these other things that I've said, all the other racial slurs that I've used have been around just as long or longer. Right? So those words aren't used just cavalier. Like, yo, man, I'm
but those words ain't cool,
that's my
Chuck.
chick right there.
Yeah,
that's my chick right there.
Those words ain't cool, Chuck. Black people made the term cool.
And that's the problem. Why are we making it cool? Why are we trying to give it a spin? Why are we trying to turn this pile of rotten lemons into lemonade? We don't have to do that because no one else does. They recognize it for being a hurtful and derogatory term, and it's just that. And that's just how I feel. Because if you're telling me if that's the case, over time, language, how people use these things,
culture,
have changed,
environments,
culture, right? Well, how come those other words aren't in that same category?
Because people don't communicate those words.
Evolved with time.
Because those are backroom. Those are backroom words. You don't hear those words in music. right? You don't hear those words in music and see them in music videos. And not ever. You ain't seen that. You ain't seen a whole group. You ain't see a whole movement of rock and rollers use racial slurs and epithets. Like you ain't seen no bands called Chinks with Attitudes. You know what I'm saying? You don't see the N word is promoted. And I'm sorry about saying the word chink like that, y'all, but whatever. Yeah, y'all see what I'm getting at. I almost slipped up and said the N word like 7 times just now. Yeah, I'm trying not to say it. It's one of them things. I find the word disrespectful. Right?
Right.
Like I find the word disrespectful, right? But understanding how I feel and how somebody else feels can be 2 separate things. Right?
Okay.
Can I bash them for saying the N-word? No. And quite honestly, I don't want to bash people for saying the N-word. I want to bash them for having to feel like they need to say the N-word. And there's a difference. Saying it. Like man, you hear all kind of people. For instance, I have a lot of I have a lot of friends from a former corporate life, right? And I don't really deal with them like on that daily basis anymore, right? A lot of friends are in it, and so I have a lot of friends, and I found out they are genuine human beings, good people,
right?
White boys, white girls, Asian dudes, Asian chicks, African dudes, and when I say African, and so I need to stop saying that too, because African, saying African and Asian, to me that's disrespectful too, because a lot of these people come from so many different places. Like right. You have the Arab Asians, right? You know what I'm saying? You have the Arab Asians. People forget. People like, oh, they just Indian. No, man, no. Everybody that is from that region of the world is not Indian. People Asian, right? And then you got your East Asians and your North Asian people, like Russian, all all the way out. Man, it's crazy. And so I found, and so the more I got into corporate setting, I'm like, man, that's a weird way to spell it. What's that weird way to spell your name? What's that from? And they'll name the country. Like my father moved here from such and such in 1960 something. He went to UCLA and he couldn't even speak English, and kids picked on him and teased him, and they bullied him and beat him up because he couldn't speak. And when you hear all these stories, you're like, damn,
right?
That's the story of us. That's the story of us. Like Joe Madden told me the story, like when he used to come over as a kid and he would talk and people would pick on his Irish accent, right? And they would try to bully him and try to mess with him and all that stuff. And it's like, yo, this is the story of us. And a lot of them kids it wasn't just white kids. These were black kids too, Asian kids too. They pick on something that's different.
That's true.
It's called survival of the fittest. That's what it's called, survival of the fittest, right? In order for you to survive, you have to prove that you're the most fit, right? That's what it is.
Right.
Survival of the fittest. It's a human instinct, just like fight or flight, right? It's a survival mechanism, right? But when the kids come over, you ever, like some of the kids come over from say, I went to Dickinson High, right? And it was kids from Japan. It was like kids from everywhere. All the smartest kids. We were in like this program or whatever. They called it the science program at Dickinson High in Jersey City, right? All of us are there, and we in a room, and I'm looking around. And it's like I go from a all black setting where everything was nigga, 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 nigga. I come from that setting, go to another setting, and I don't hear the N word at all. And I tell them, hey man, this thing too whitewashed for me. This thing too. It's like, no, you got to, even as a ninth grader, as a ninth grader, you got to understand your path, the path that you're on. You got to be, as a ninth grader, you have to understand that you are one of the best of us, and we're gonna send you out here not only to represent us, but to bring stuff back to us. Go get that stuff from out there in the world and bring it back. Right? And it's the same thing with a lot of kids. A lot of kids go from one thing to whatever. And it's like, so that's why when I say stuff like, a lot of people have been called a lot of stuff. And is it right? No. But the agent can see they didn't embrace that. They embraced what they thought was cool. Us rapping about being called fools. Right? Us embracing it. Other people embracing that culture, man, or embracing these terms and things of that sort. And they probably do it and we just don't hear it. But the thing about it is the word was once offensive, but to take the bite out of it, you take the teeth out. Basically, some people grew up their whole life seeing nothing wrong with hearing and saying the N-word. Their whole life, they grew up. They grew up as people in their 20s that grew up their whole life not understanding how offensive the N-word is. Because it ain't been taught to them. Right? It ain't been taught to them. Because people have the clear double standard of black people can say it. Any melanin can say it. If you got melanin, you can say it. If you don't have melanin, you can't say it.
I think that's ridiculous too.
Right.
I think that's ridiculous too, because I have it when I lived in Queens when I was a younger teen. All my friends looked black, but everybody wasn't Black American. They were from Dominican Republic. They were from Haiti. They were from Ghana. They were from Nigeria. They were from all over the place. All the West Indian islands. And one thing that I understood is being in a place where you're different, right? So, yeah, we looked alike, but people had accents. People didn't understand American culture. And so it was like, okay, so I'm like the guide to American culture and stuff. None of those people came over with their derogatory terms and used them towards each other, right? Now, when it comes to the N-word, you're right, there is a double standard. And amongst my friends, it was absolutely a double standard, only because here's the thing. We'll say N-word, N-word, N-word all day, back and forth. But let me do something that either hurts your feelings or offends you. When you're saying it now, is it still a term of endearment? You black nigga. You talking to me. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Chuck, let me do something real quick.
What were you really saying?
Me and Chuck and I talked about doing this yesterday, and we got into the heat of battle and didn't do it. My bad, y'all. Check this out. Chuck and I talked about that yesterday. Like, yo, we got to tell people to subscribe, man. And we got
Yes.
here talking about that N word, and here we are. Yeah, man. But Chuck,
Um,
the N word is the word. It's like when a female hears the word bitch, right? It drives women to a certain thing, right? And I'm not saying this as a derogatory thing, but I don't feel like you should ever utter the word to a woman, the B word, right? That ain't my thing. But when dudes hear me, they like, yo, Uncle Freezie, you soft, and I be quick to remind people, like, I do extract teeth, though I'm not a dentist. So you ain't great to like play me on some soft. I'm an Uncle Freezy, that dude thing. Is these hands look bad. I got a lot of broken fingers and all that stuff, and that don't come from just cracking knuckles, bro. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Right?
right.
And I'm not saying that I'm bust a bully. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm getting at is you're not gonna play me on some, you know what I'm saying, just because I try to treat people with respect thing, that I'm a softie. You know what I'm saying? More maybe respectful.
Right.
But I think, Chuck, I think the thing is that a lot of this comes down to maybe it's our lack of respect for who we are, as not a lack of respect for others, but a lack of respect for yourself.
Let's go. Now we get now. Yeah. Now let's get. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Let's go to conversation. Let's do it. Yes. Lack of
Yeah,
respect for yourself. Go ahead.
yeah. I'm saying, that's, I mean, okay. So the lack of respect for ourselves to me comes from a low self-esteem, and a low awareness issue, right? I think ultimately where that comes from is a lot of different things: poverty,
Right.
low educational levels, a lot of failure in your community. When you see failure so much, you have a low self-esteem, you have low confidence. So in order to build yourself up, you bite the hand that feeds you, or bite the hand that's you know what I'm saying? And
Okay. Yeah.
maybe I'm wrong in that. But the pushback from being marginalized is, you call me that word, I'm gonna embrace it.
Okay. I I agree. I agree with what you said. I'm trying to find let me not even use an analogy. Um, because it kind of goes with something that you said about knowing yourself. I remember I was dating I was dating a chick from DC, and she had worked for one of the law firms down there, and we go to a house party in Potomac, right? And there's a whole bunch of people there mingling or whatever. And after people done got nice and tipsy, they want to
Right.
get into these deep philosophical conversations, right? And there were a bunch of black people there, but this one young lady in particular had a lot to say, and she's uh, her and the girl that I was dating at the time, they got into a heated conversation about um, black people uh, we were talking about using certain words, and she said, "Well, the reason black people act the way they do is because they don't know their history." And I said, "Okay." And then she goes on to say that she was from Haiti and this, that, and the third. And I was like, so you knowing the history of how people were brought to your country, um, and maybe that revolt that happened out there, um, for some reason y'all look down on us because a few people fought back. People fought back here. It was just more of them than us. Just like if you go to your country,
1805. They black and Haitian. Hey, they black too, by the way.
they're very black. Like they and Dominicans. Y'all on the same piece of land.
Yeah.
It's like being in. It's like being in the south of the border. Just a couple steps and you're in North Carolina.
In North Carolina and South Carolina.
Then a couple more steps back the other way, you're in South Carolina. So knock it off, man. But what it is that when you speak to people from these countries, Black Americans are often looked down upon, and I believe that comes from the missionaries that went out to these countries. Don't be like those black people in America. We give them jobs and places to stay, and then they rebel against us, right? Because if you talk to a lot of people from other places, right, they loved go to Central Park in like in an hour and a half. You'll see more people that look like you and I pushing strollers with babies that are as white as snow, eyes as blue as the sky, hair as blonde as the sun. Like, and they take those jobs with so much pride. I had to when I was completely bedbound after I broke my neck, couldn't move and stuff. I had a West Indian lady. I don't remember what island she was from, but she says to me, I usually don't take care of black people because they keep their houses nasty and they live in the projects and they're on drugs.
Right.
Wait, what? Man,
but you were bed bound.
I was like, that lady can't come back here.
it was a black lady.
But this is the way they think.
It was a black lady.
No, it was a black lady. It was a black lady.
Okay.
She was just from the islands. And I'm thinking to myself, like, where is she getting this information?
I can tell you exactly where she gets it from, Chuck. I can tell you exactly where she gets it from. See, she's not coming to your house and looking, because if she came to your house, she would see that would be incorrect. But through music videos, and movies, people get an assumption on how black people live. And in those settings that they see, in those settings, like what's the NWA movie? What's an NWA movie called?
Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah, and Straight Outta Compton, you saw that. In Boys in the Hood, you saw that. And Boys in the Hood, when Trey had to clean out the tub, guess what? Guess what the tub looked like? You remember that? Trey had to clean out the Furious made Trey clean out the tub. Trey
Yeah,
was like, ew, the tub was nasty. Trey, Furious made Trey clean up that bathroom, right?
right,
How long did that bathroom look like?
right.
Trey had just got there. Remember Trey, the first remember Trey had to rake up the leaves?
Yep.
Remember Trey had to rake up the leaves and all that? And then come in the house
Yeah,
and clean
yeah,
up
yeah,
he had to clean up the bathroom before he used it?
yep.
Think about how nasty that house is then. Think about that, right? And millions of people saw that movie. See what I'm saying? See, I
I've
think it's
watched
the
that movie
oh, I'm sorry,
a
go ahead.
million times, and I never picked up on that. I never saw that. I never like picked that out. Like, yeah, when he got there, he did have to,
Rake the
rake
yard,
leaves
all
and do all
them
these
leaves.
chores.
Yep. And he just got there.
He just got there. Like, and the crazy thing is, like, and Fury Styles is like a very educated, straightforward, progressive, black man. Like, he had a job and things. I'm like, why is this house? Once you said that, like, why is this house like that? But again, like you say, these are the images that people see, which I don't understand, because when I watched the Game of Thrones, I don't think all white people are like the weird stuff that I seen in that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but go ahead, finish. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
What I'm getting at is think about what you see in Boys in the Hood. Nasty bathrooms, crackheads with babies in the street, and instead of people cleaning up their community, they putting hydraulics on cars. What would you think? What would you think if you was from another culture and saw that? Instead of cleaning up your place to stay, cleaning up yourself, you putting $1,000 rims on cars.
Knock on wood. That made that used to make no sense to me when I worked at the warehouse. Man, if you came to the parking lot one morning, you'd be like, oh my God, look, all dudes will save, I mean, a lot of bread, like $20,000 or $30,000 to put into a hunk of junk that they got out of their granddaddy yard or somebody's yard. And I was like, man, if you could save $30,000 to put in the car, you could save $30,000 to buy a piece of land and put a house or a trailer and not live with your mom. Like, I had a homeboy like that, and me and him used to get into it all the time. Like, we don't talk to each other no more after his mom passed away, and because I blamed him, straight up and down. I said, yo, you didn't even take care of your mother. Like, you were more concerned about putting rims on your car. I remember the first time I went to his house, I couldn't believe it was his house.
Right.
I could not believe it was his house. I was like, yo, you as you coming up to the crib, you see lawn. Get to their house, dirt.
Right.
Not a stitch of grass. Everybody else got the people very next door to them got grass. They don't have no grass. Not in the front, nor the back. Right? We're in the room, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. There's a hole in the floor. Not only is there a hole in the floor, a chicken ran under the house. A chicken ran under the house. And I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, we getting paid like $19 an hour, bro. Like, how's your crib like this? But that car was shiny. It had like a 88 Caprice on 26s. And the rims could have got them a trailer. It might have been used, but they would have owned it, and it would have been much better than that crib. And I'm like, yo, my God, like, how are you spending? Like, why are you spending your money on stuff like this? Me and him got into it one, like, his down south in the South, man. The South is not like the city. The city, you can go on any block, and there's a welfare office, or you go to a hospital, and they have social workers that can get you insurance, get you food stamps if you need it, or whatever assistance that you need, right? And you get it like that here in the city. The Carolinas ain't the same. They have a system, but if you live somewhere like not in that county, like you got to drive 20 miles just to get there, and then they make you jump through hoops, and you got to come back. And if you're not a person who have their own car and you're relying on someone to take you every day, that means you got to pay them to take you up there, for them to send you home so you come back up there. So a lot of people don't get the same medical benefits. Maybe now they do.
Yeah.
But when I was about 17 years ago, no. My homeboy's mom was out of her insulin. And he could have bought it. Nah. He wanted to get a pair of J's. And I said, bro, it's your mom's. That's your mother.
Yeah.
And you wearing these J's for what? These girls don't get
But he an N-word, Chuck.
A dirty, filthy, nasty N-word, yes.
Yes. N-word. He I heard Tupac say, Tupac sums it up the best to me. Sometimes I love Tupac, and sometimes I hate Tupac, bro. Right? Because Tupac could say something like Tupac could have a thing strictly for my N-words.
Mm-hmm.
Like I go to hell, I'll go to hell and bid forever for my N-words. Like I like yo, when things go down, I'll cut my arm off for my N-words. You know, if one N-word is struggling, all N-words are struggling. Right? He'll say some stuff like that. And then, and on the other hand, he'll say, and just another song, and I guess the reason why I'm like that, because I guess I'm like Tupac in a way, right? And on the other hand, he'll say something like, you know, F all these N-words out here in the street, it's us versus them N-words over there. And so I'm like, yo, come on, Pac. If you can't send out a message of love and a message of hate at the same time for the same group of people, but it's just like tribalism. It's all it is. It's like the reason why I mentioned the thing about Africa and Asia. Mm-hmm. Every group of people from Africa is not the same.
Exactly.
All Africans are not the same.
Nope.
They come from different regions. They come from different tribes. Right? We are different.
Countries. Yep.
Right? We are different. Africa is not a country. Africa is a continent.
With countries within the continent. Right.
Right. With different cultures and different histories and all these things. Right? Mm-hmm. And all these things. And some of us come from different places on that continent. Right? Some of us come from different places. I think for right now, I think we used to claim Liberia, like back in the 80s, I'm from Liberia. Now I think the thing is everybody's from Nigeria. Everybody from Nigeria now. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden. Right? Right. But the thing is in all groups of people are going to be different. So it's not right for you to call all these people that have different backgrounds and different histories one thing. and that's the N word.
Right.
Right? It's just not fair. Even though the word nigga comes from a Latin word. I forget. I don't know how they pronounce it in Latin.
Negro.
Right.
Negro, which means
No.
black.
I'm talking about Niger. No, I'm talking about Niger. That one. Not
Negro.
Not even though they have the same, they come from the same place. I'm talking about a different root word origin. But even it's just not right because you know what also means black? More. Moor. And you
Right.
never hear people use the word more. And yes, more comes from that same same time frame, that same timeline. And people never talk about Moors, about how intelligent black people came out of Africa up to the Spanish Portuguese peninsula, and brought religion and math and architecture and all those things when people were living uncivilized. These Moors came from a certain place. So that's one of the parts that people don't talk about. But anyway, Chuck, I gotta get out of here so I can do the KMD. I hate Chuck. I hate it when you be bringing up these topics, bro. You be bringing up these topics,
you
man.
like one of them chicks that grind on you all night and then be like, yo, I gotta go home. What? Wait, what? I thought something was about to happen, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. This was a great conversation, man.
Yeah, man. I gotta make sure I do the Lawrence Tears thing, man. Y'all know it.
One last thing I say before I sign off, ladies and gentlemen. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
That's biblical.
All of you have a great rest of your day, and I will holler. Peace.
Peace, y'all. Peace, y'all.